What an amazing video! Great work, distinguished members.
Participants are requested to wait a few moments for the arrival of
What
our
an
invited
amazing
speakers.
video!
Your
Great work,
cooperation is
distinguished
highly
members.
appreciated. Thank you. Participants are requested to wait a few moments for the arrival of
What
our
an
invited
amazing
speakers.
video!
Your
Great work,
cooperation is
distinguished
highly
members.
appreciated. Thank you. Participants are requested to wait a few moments for the arrival of
What
our
an
invited
amazing
speakers.
video!
Your
Great work,
cooperation is
distinguished
highly
members.
appreciated. Thank you. Participants are requested to wait a few moments for the arrival of
What
our
an
invited
amazing
speakers.
video!
Your
Great work,
cooperation is
distinguished
highly
members.
appreciated. Thank you. Participants are requested to wait a few moments for the arrival of
What
our
an
invited
amazing
speakers.
video!
Your
Great work,
cooperation is
distinguished
highly
members.
appreciated. Thank you.
Aromatic
Participants
flavors
are
and
requested
spices
to wait a few moments for the arrival of
What
our
an
invited
amazing
speakers.
video!
Your
Great work,
cooperation is
distinguished
highly
members.
appreciated. Thank you.
aromatic
Participants
flavors
are
and
requested
spices.
to wait a few moments for the arrival of
What
our
an
invited
amazing
speakers.
video!
Your
Great work,
cooperation is
distinguished
highly
members.
appreciated. Thank you.
Aromatic
Participants
flavors
are
and
requested
spices.
to wait a few moments for the arrival of
What
our
an
invited
amazing
speakers.
video!
Your
Great work,
cooperation is
distinguished
highly
members.
appreciated. Thank you.
participate unrestricted the arrival of
Professor Dr. Tirumali Raman.
Is it okay now?
Still not, Prof. Maybe you can stop sharing first, then you try to share again.
Yeah.
Stop sharing first.
Is it all right?
Okay, now okay. Thank you, Prof.
Good morning, very good morning, one and all. So myself, Dr. Thirumalai. So I am a professor of mechanical engineering from Dr. NGP Institute of Technology. So I would like to extend my gratitude to University of Technology Malaysia for giving me an opportunity to deliver a speech on advances in sustainable engineering for the International Undergraduate Poster Competition IUPC 2022. So my topic today, which I am going to share to the participants, is advances in sustainable engineering. So here, first we will just find out what is sustainable engineering and what is the concepts of sustainable engineering. So sustainable engineering, whenever we speaks about, it speaks on the three important factors which leads to the social factor, the environmental factor, and the economic factors. So when I speak on sustainability, when I cover all these three factors, I say I have obtained a sustainable engineering or a sustainable manufacturing to my organization. So I can provide, I say that I'm going to take from the earth and I'm going to not pollute anything from the earth because of this engineering and because of this manufacturing. I'm going to keep this earth in a positive manner. And sustainable manufacturing, we can able to say we are going to have safeguard the environment, the society, and the economic, and provide more amount of profit at the same time. So sustainable. So my presentation will have four different topics here. One is sustainable development and sustainability. Sustainability in manufacturing. What is sustainable manufacturing or sustainable engineering? And performance indicators for sustainable manufacturing. So in all these cases, as I said above, we have three pillars for sustainability. The first one is environmental, which is called the planet, and then it is social, the factor, which includes people, and third one is the economic factor, which includes the profit. So when I have a Venn diagram for all these three factors which are combined together, I say the industry will become a sustainability. So I should have an impact of environment consciousness. I should have an impact of having a profit to my organization. I should have an impact of having the social benefit to the people, those who are working in the organization. So how the sustainable engineering differs from a normal engineering? How sustainable manufacturing? So when we see about the manufacturing, it is a general engineering process where we can able to find the mechanical, physical, and chemical processes are being modified to provide a geometry to give an appearance for a given material which is coming inside as a raw material, and when it goes out, it becomes a finished product. So the geometry changes, the appearance changes, the luster changes, everything changes over here. So we are thinking only about how we can able to reform from the beginning stage till the last stage. But now, when I say what is sustainable engineering, I can say we are going to have the same process of engineering, but the thing is, I will say I will not pollute, I will conserve the energy, and I will have the natural resources and which are economically sound, and it should safeguard the employees for the communities and the consumers. So this is what the definition given by the sustainable manufacturing as given by the United States Department of Commerce defined for sustainable manufacturing. That is, I should go for manufacturing engineering process which will not pollute, which will conserve energy and natural resources, and it should be economically sound and it should be safe for employees, communities, and consumers. Then comes the sustainable manufacturing. How it processes, it will minimize the waste. It will minimize the quantity of waste. It demonstrates improved environmental performance and energy efficiency and provides higher operational safety and personal health. So this factor speaks about the social impact of the sustainable engineering. And sustainable engineering, it is a branch of sustainability which deals with economic, environmental, and social objectives of manufacturing activities. So there are some important terminologies which are available in sustainable engineering, and they are, we can able to find it. So in these cases, there is a term called as green manufacturing, a clean manufacturing, environmental conscious manufacturing, environmentally benign manufacturing, environmentally responsible manufacturing, eco-friendly manufacturing, and finally the same term comes here, sustainable manufacturing or sustainable engineering. So in all these cases, we can able to say we are safeguarding the environment, we are safeguarding the social people, and we are safeguarding the profit for the organization. So these terms are very related to sustainable engineering. So this is a evolution of sustainable manufacturing graph, which shows there are several layers of R is given here. We can able to find this is called as 6R graph. This is called as the 6R graph. So in this case, so we can able to find the 6R graph that there are several elements of R is given here. There are several elements of R is given here. The first one is reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, redesign, and remanufacture. So here the first element of reduce came into the existence in the years of 1990s, and then it dragged in the year of 2000, and then it is coming under the phenomenon of traditional manufacturing process. Then slightly we can able to find the waste reduction process came into existence, which is called a lean manufacturing process. We will eliminate the waste in my organization process, and I can say this waste is being reduced and this process comes into existence. But in the case of lean manufacturing waste reduction process, we do not take into care of environment factors during the process of engineering. Then comes into the existence of green manufacturing, where we have the idea of safeguarding the environment, and this environment changes, environmental factors will also bring into our manufacturing process. So in my engineering, I will always check for how I'm going to protect the environment. So when I combine this, I call it as a 3R based manufacturing or 3R based engineering process, which speaks about reduce, reuse, recycle, having into the environmental factors into impact. We are going to consider about these environmental factors. And then comes the sustainable manufacturing, where it is called as a 6R based process, where it includes all the process where whatever we have seen. We have to reduce the waste, we have to safeguard the environment, and also we should think of the economic factors. Apart from that, we should think some innovations in manufacturing. So when I combine all these reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, redesign, and remanufacture, I say that we are in sustainable engineering. We are in sustainable engineering. Then comes how far we are going to think away the objectives of our sustainable manufacturing. The main objectives includes I should minimize the manufacturing cost, I should minimize the energy consumption, I should reduce the environmental impact, I should improve the personal health, I should improve the operational safety, I should improve the waste management practices. So in this case, the first two objectives where we are going to finding the minimization of manufacturing cost and minimization of energy consumption, it comes into the factor of the operations. That is how we are going to benefit the organization. And reduce the environmental, it is going to be an environmental factor. And then improve the personal health, it becomes a social impact factor. Operation safety, waste, everything becomes a social impact factor for sustainable engineering. So these are the performance indicators of sustainable manufacturing. As I have said, we have three different parameters. So we have environmental parameter, we have economic parameter, and then we have a social parameters. So how I can able to find out the economic performance? I will measure the manufacturing cost. I will measure the manufacturing cost. So previously, before implementation of sustainable engineering in my organization, what is the cost applied? And now what is the cost applied? So I am going to compare these two performances and I say whether the sustainable engineering has brought out the economic importance in my organization. I will also check for my energy. I will check for the quality of the products. So because I have implemented the various levels of arts here. I have reduced the waste, I have reduced the energy, I have reduced the social, I have improved the social awareness, motivated the employees all over here. Definitely the quality of the products should also increase here. The efficiency of the production will be improved. There will be an improvement in technology. There is an improvement in supply chain network. All these indicators brings me that sustainable engineering is being accommodated for my organization. How to check the environmental performance? So I will be checking about how the material and water usages were being controlled, how they are important in having a higher performance of environment, how the energy consumption is done, whether we have reduced the energy when compared to the previous cases, all these things will be checked here. Have we reduced the water pollution, land pollution, and air pollution? Have we restricted the waste generated? Is the emission release has been in control? All these things, when I measure it out and I say whether they are in positive manner, sustainable manufacturing is being in control. And how comes the social performance can be indicated by means of sustainable engineering? We have health should be improved, happiness, education, poverty level should be eradicated, and the standard of living of an employee should be improved here. In all these cases, I can say, so we are speaking about how a person who is in an organization is being improved in both in terms of technology, education, and health is being, we are going to check the performance of sustainable engineering. Then comes the process sustainability index. So we have several indicators where we have machining cost, energy consumptions, environmental impacts, waste management, operator safety, personal safety. So what is the index? What is the index level? What is the comparative chart we have to imply over here? So machining cost, I should check how the direct cost, indirect cost, and capital cost, they are being monitored, they are being managed, they are being before and after implementation of sustainability, how they are going in advance. Energy, how production, maintenance, transportation, facilities, renewable energy, all these factors I'm going to check how far the energy is being consumption. Environmental impact, I'm going to check for energy, water, restricted material, disposed waste, and noise pollution. So I'm going to monitor all these parameters to check whether my sustainable engineering is in form, whether they are controlling the environmental aspect. How we are going to check the waste management? We are going to check how the consumables are used, whether the packaging industry has been uh, producing lesser amount of waste, whether we are using the raw materials effectively, whether the scrap parts were being eradicated smoothly, and it is been minimized the conditions. And then operator safety. The injury should be very, very minimum. Working environment should be with higher amount of safety. So all these things we should having a measurement indicator of a measurement index for a sustainability engineering. And personal health, the absenteeism rate should be totally eradicated, and physical load should be very, very minimum, and the health conditions of the employee should be improved here. So when I measure all these things, I say the social impact of sustainable engineering is being measured here. And how we can able to implement a sustainable manufacturing. So here we should develop the technologies and methodologies. So in what way we can able to develop and technologies are, we should reduce the greenhouse gas. I should use a clean energy. I should improve the energy usage. I should reduce the use of non-renewable and toxic materials, and I should reduce the waste by products. And here we can able to find the various benchmarks or the flow works, how a sustainable engineering can be brought into practice. So first of all, I should not deplete the environment. I should not I should not go for deforestation, because in some industries, when I start making an industry, I go for deforestation. I will remove all the places. I will build up an industry. This is to be avoided totally. And I should use non-hazardous and recycled products as my input material for my organization. And I should modify the existing industry institute or an organization or a company so that I will eradicate the waste. Finally, I should go for lesser amount of packaging. I should use low amount of weight, which is going to be transported from one end to the other end, and I should have an efficient amount of transportation and logistics. Then I should have a good relationship between the customers and the stakeholders. So I should have a very nearer places of inventories and warehouses nearer to my companies, so that the environmental impact of sales and distributions may be reduced. I should have an expansion of the industry by employing very few resources so that the process may be improved. And finally, all my products, whichever I'm going to produce from my industry, should be reusable, it should be remanufacturable, it should be recyclable and biodegradable, because it improves the environmental impact of the sustainable engineering. So these are the ways to implement sustainable engineering. The easier ways are housekeeping, process optimization, and the most difficult way wherein small industry can able to implement is a new product design and new technology. I have given you a chart here which shows a generally easier, still a more difficult chart. So housekeeping, so I can able to improve the work practices very easily. I can go for process optimization. I can improve the adjustments in my workplace process organization, and then I can find out. I can substitute raw materials. I can shift from one place to the other place, which will improve the environmental impacts. But the difficult part is implementation of newer technologies, where I should lower the resource consumption and waste generations. And finally, it is a new product design, which I should have a more amount of time for minimizing the impacts throughout the product life cycle. And with this, I thank everyone, those who are here, the participants, for giving me an opportunity. And my special thanks goes to �𝐏𝐂 Osman, Dr. 𝐏𝐿 Osman, the Faculty of Biomedical Engineering, and the other participants, those who are in my WhatsApp group, those who are very, very lively. I congratulate the entire team. So you are very active and you are very live, and you are helping the participants and the speakers to a very larger extent. Thank you, one and all. If you have any queries, you can please ask me now.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Tirumali Ramanathan. Participants are welcome to ask any questions or doubt to our invited speakers.
How many speakers are here? Sorry, how many members are here?
Well, that is about 29 altogether.
Yes.
Because we have the participant, they are not only joining via WebEx, they may joining via Facebook as
Yeah.
well. So we are on live now.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, one and all.
Thank you again, Professor Dr. Tirumali Ramanathan. I have definitely learned a lot about sustainable engineering by listening to your talk. Now, I'll pass the platform to Fatih.
It is my privilege to introduce our second invited speaker, Professor Dato Engineer Dr. Muhammad Rafiq bin Dato Abdul Kadir. Professor Dato Engineer Dr. Muhammad Rafiq is a Professor of Medical Engineering, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, UTM. His career brings over years of experience in research, teaching, and administration, as well as a practicing engineer. On his academic brilliance assessment, he obtained his first degree in mechanical engineering from a renowned university, Imperial College London, and then spent a year at the University of Cambridge for postgraduate studies. He later returned to Imperial College London for a PhD research in medical engineering. His thesis on simulus heteroplasty was accepted without correction. Upon completing his PhD, he joined UTM as an academic staff and established the Medical Devices and Technology Group, Meditek, one of the most successful research groups in UTM, which later upgraded to a Center of Excellence. Datuk Rafiq is internationally known and a leading academician in the field that he introduced many years ago when he started his tenure with UTM. This is proven with close to 300 of his publications in the field, most of which are from quarter 1 and 2 high-ranking journals. His work also received good citation with his current H index of 41. His contributions in scientific community also include 6 books and 93 conference proceedings. He has secured 95 research grants for Meditek with a total amount close to 10 million ringgit Malaysia. Besides his intellectual role in academics, he is also a prolific innovator. He is number one Malaysia inventor with 27 patents granted within a time frame of 2010 to 2014. To date, he holds 38 granted patents and has filed 18 new inventions pending for approval. Under his supervision, 47 PhD students and 36 masters by research have successfully graduated. Datuk Rafiq was the pioneering dean of UTM's Faculty of Engineering, one of the largest engineering faculties in Asia with close to 700 academic staff and 10,000 students. Previously, he was the Dean of the Faculty of Biomedical Engineering and Health Science, and before that, held 3 appointments as Deputy Dean with 3 different portfolios, which are academic, development, and the last one, postgraduates and research. He is registered at the Board of Engineers Malaysia, BEM, as a professional engineering with practicing certificate, PEPC, and Asian Chartered Professional Engineer, ACPE, and a Chartered Engineer, CANG, registered with the United Kingdom Engineering Council. Before joining UTM, Professor Rafiq had working experience as an engineer in Singapore-based and Japanese companies. Such a great figure. Now, please welcome Professor Dato Engineer Dr. Muhammad Rafiq bin Dato Abdul Kadir to deliver his talk entitled COVID-19, the ever-increasing importance of the field of biomedical engineering. The platform is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma, Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair.
Saya boleh stop sharing dah.
Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla wa anta taj'alul hazna idza syi'ta sahla. اللهم إني ضعيف فقو في رضاك ضعفي وخذ إلى الخير بناصيتي واجعل الإسلام منتهى رضايا. اللهم إني ضعيف فقوني وذليل فأعزني وفقير فأغنني وارزقني. First of all, thank you very much, Shakira. Yeah, thank you very much, Shakira, for a very kind and rather lengthy introduction. You can shorten, the introduction into just a few sentences, actually. Anyway, thank you very much for inviting me to give a short talk on something. When I asked the organizing committee what should I present, they told me, well, anything you like related to biomedical engineering. So I said to myself, maybe I gave something that is not too heavy. Too heavy means that subject related to my own expertise. My expertise is in orthopedic biomechanics, rather mouthful to some of you, but that is a very specific and heavy topic. But considering the kind of audience that we have this morning, so I said to myself, let's make some topic that is rather light. And the topic that I've chosen for today, for this particular event, is COVID-19, the ever-increasing importance of the field of biomedical engineering. And I haven't shown these slides to any of my invited lectures. So consider yourself privileged. Well, maybe the contents I took from some of other presentations that I've made, but the topic itself is very new. The topic itself very new. I haven't presented this topic at any other conferences. Yeah. Well, it's rather short because I only have 20 minutes. Yes, I only have 20 minutes for the presentation. So I prepared 20 slides. So hopefully I can stick to the time of 1 minute per slide. Yeah? Right. Okay. So the kind of thing that I will present to you today, there are basically three things. So I will introduce biomedical engineering. I will introduce biomedical engineering. That's number one. And I will show you some of the issues related to COVID-19. And then why this field of biomedical engineering is very important. Well, as Shakira mentioned in the introduction, my background is in mechanical engineering. So I got my first degree in mechanical engineering, but then I continued for my postgraduate studies at Imperial, working on orthopedics biomechanics, which is a field in biomedical engineering. Right, let's move on to the next slide. Right, engineering in medicine. This question was posed to me when I joined UTM in the year 2000. In the year 2000, I joined UTM. So I quit my job at industry. I joined UTM. And then my head of department back then asked me, Rafiq, I want to send you to continue to further your studies. Yeah. What would you like to do? And she said to me, actually, we have a topic for you to do for your PhD. And the topic is materials in automotive. Materials in automotive or for automotive applications. And I said to myself, Ooh, I'm not really into cars. Yeah, I'm not really not really into cars. I have a couple of cars in my home, but and I enjoy driving my Audi A4. But I'm not really into engines. Yeah. Okay, can I do something else instead? So what would you want to do? I want to do something that the engineers can assist in the field of medicine. What did you say? Engineering in medicine? Yeah, engineering in medicine. Applications of engineering in medicine. Well, tough because back then in the year 2000, there is no such thing as biomedical engineering. In the year 2000, I'm not sure whether some of our students have already born or not. Yeah, but in the year 2000, I joined UTM. Yeah, and they asked me to further my studies, and I want to explore the application of engineering in medicine. So what is it actually? So biomedical engineering. So it is about engineering principles, and when we say engineering principles, we mean the study of mechanics, materials, electronics, computing, design, and the addition of the other half of the brain. What is the other half of the brain? The other half of the biomedical engineering is medicine. Yeah. And the field that up until now I have already involved in cardiology, imaging and radiology, obstetrics and gynecology, occupational therapy and physiotherapy as well, for that matter, ophthalmology, orthopedics, also ORL, that one is ear, nose and throat, urology, and of course we also involve a lot in the field of dentistry. Yeah. So biomedical engineering is you can consider yourself utilizing both sides of your brain. So you can consider yourself utilizing both sides of your brain, because some people might say that you are either a left brain man, a left brain person, or a right brain person. Biomedical engineer have no choice. They have to use both the left and both the right brain. Literally. Yeah. Right. Move on to the next one. Is it something new? Is it something new? Well, back then in the year 2000, maybe it is new. But the field itself, you can trace back to at least the year 936 or the year 1000 AD by a person named Az-Zahrawi, who is the father, considered as the father of modern surgery. What did he develop? Man, isn't that interesting? Yeah. So he wrote a book called At-Tasrif. And At-Tasrif is a 30-volume encyclopedia of medical practices. Man, that is huge. That is huge. And the thing about Az-Zahrawi's tools, the surgical tools, these tools are still being used today. So if you go to any modern hospital these days, and you go to the surgical theater, you still find some of the tools, surgical tools, that are being used or invented by Az-Zahrawi. And Az-Zahrawi was not alone. I believe that you are familiar with names such as Ibn Sina. Yes, Ibn Sina and his encyclopedia of medicine called Al-Qanun fi Tib. Yeah, and you also have other known scholars like Ibn An-Nafis. Those who working at UTM IGN Cardiovascular Engineering Center know very well Ibn An-Nafis, because Ibn An-Nafis was the first to show the circulatory of blood flow through the heart. Yeah? And of course, Ibn An-Nafis mentioned this in his book Ash-Shamil fi Tib. And then of course you have other scholars like Ibn al-Baytar. Ibn al-Baytar. So Az-Zahrawi was not alone, and we are talking about the golden age, the Muslims' golden age, from the year 800 to 1258 AD. And all these scholars, they don't differentiate knowledge. They don't segregate knowledge. They don't have the segregation of knowledge that we have these days. So I believe that the reason why I like biomedical engineering is because we break that barrier by saying that, okay, this is one field of knowledge and this is another field of knowledge. But back then, during the golden age, you know, all of these scholars were polymaths. Polymaths means that they were not an expert in only one particular field, but multiple fields. Ibnu an-Nafis, I mentioned just now, you know, who was the first to show the blood circulation through the heart, he was also a Shafi'i jurist. So he was a great jurisprudence. Yeah? He knows religious sciences as well as the blood flow through the blood. Yeah. So this is good. And the thing that I like the most with these scholars from the golden age, I want you to look very closely at my slide because I'm going to show you a red box. Can you see that red box? If you cannot see, wear your glasses. If you still cannot see while wearing your glasses, then get your eye checked soon as possible. What did I show there? In my slide, I show one of the pages in At-Tasrif where he says, Wallahu a'lam bis-sawab. Wallahu a'lam bis-sawab. What does it mean? It means that Allah knows better. Yeah? Allah knows better. Yeah? It shows humility. You know, Az-Zahrawi, as I mentioned to you, the surgical tools that he designed back then, thousands of years ago, are still being used in modern days. And yet you can see how humble Az-Zahrawi and all other scholars during this age, you know, by saying that whenever they invented something, whenever they teach someone, they will always say, Wallahu a'lam bis-sawab. You know, the knowledge that I have is nothing compared to the knowledge of the creator, of the Allah. Wallahu a'lam. Allah knows better. Yeah, I teach you this, I invent you something new, but Allah knows better. Wallah, mashallah, mashallah. So that's you know, that becomes my inspiration to further my studies in the field of biomedical engineering, field that was very strange 22 years ago. Something new, something that unheard of 22 years ago becomes my passion. Yeah. So my own journey. So I spent my years at Imperial College London working with a very well-known professor who is not just obtained his PhD, but got his Doctor of Science at a very young age, Andrew Amis. And immediately when he got his DSc, Doctor of Science, he got his full professorship from Imperial. I think, I'm not sure, maybe he was 40 plus back then when he got his full professorship immediately once he got his DSc, because DSc, Doctor of Science, is very unique. PhD is now very common. You know, it seems like everybody can get a PhD. Yeah, but a DSc is something unique. You know, so he got his DSc. So I work alongside him, working on orthopedics, biomechanics, which is a combination of mechanical engineering, and orthopedics. And Andrew Amis, my supervisor, got two professorship chairs. So he got two offices, one at the Department of Mechanical Engineering and another one at the Charing Cross Hospital, London, if I'm not mistaken. Charing Cross. Yeah, Charing Cross Hospital in London. So because he's a professor of both worlds, professor of engineering and professor of medicine, if you like. Yeah. And then immediately after I completed my PhD back in 2005, I joined a committee to set up a new faculty called Faculty of Biomedical Engineering and Health Sciences. And I can see my team there. If I still remember their names, I can see Lokman there. I can see Nurhana there. I can see Aimi there. I can see Siti Rosita is there. Who else? I can see Izwin is still here. I can see Ame Sha'ari there. Arif Ruhullah, Azli Yahya there. Yeah. So these are the pioneering teams. So I joined these pioneering teams headed by Prof. Jasmi. Prof. Jasmi is there. Yeah, he's there in the picture. Yeah? And we are just about to board a plane. No, just kidding. That plane is not moving anyway. And then afterwards, I also involved in the merger of Faculty of Biomedical Engineering and Faculty of Biosciences and Bioengineering to become FBME. So we established this new faculty related to biomedical engineering. I was the visiting medical lecturer, so again, I'm trying my best to become like the scholars of the past who were polymaths. Yeah. USM Department of Orthopedics invited me to become to teach them biomechanics and biomaterials. So this is 11 years ago. 11 years ago. Right. Okay. So as I mentioned to you, my topic today will be consist of 3 parts. So the first part is about biomedical engineering. So that's done. Now the second part. The second part only have 2 slides. We talk about COVID-19. Yes, COVID-19. COVID-19 and engineering. You said, what are you trying to say, that we engineered COVID-19 virus? Well, that's a food for thought. That was what people said 2 years ago during the emergence of this virus. They say that this is some virus sneaking out from a lab in one of the great countries who we cannot mention, but it's okay. Yeah. So is it about engineering a virus in a lab and let the virus loose? No. We're not talking about that one. Yeah, you're not talking about that one. We're talking about how can engineers help. Yeah, what the two deal. How engineers can help countries dealing with this pandemic, which is now has become an endemic. Yeah. Now I show you this box, which is the all too familiar box. Yeah, the all too familiar box. What kind of box is that? What do you think? What do you think? What is it? Is it a photo booth? Yeah. It looks like a photo booth. If you put photo equipments inside this box, then it will become a photo booth. Yeah. Or perhaps sterilization chambers. Yeah, could well be. You put some sterilization equipment in there, it becomes a sterilization chambers. A vending machine. Yeah. If you haven't had your breakfast, immediately when you see that box, you immediately see a vending machine. Yeah. Vending machine can be drinks or can be food vending machine. What else could it be? X-ray screening box, the kind of box that you see in airports. Yeah, in airports or in government buildings, in high security mansion, you will get this X-ray screening box. It could be a screening box. Oh, wow. Personal public toilet, perhaps. Yeah, if you put a toilet bowl in there, it becomes a public toilet. Public toilet that is very common in the States. In the USA, they have this personal public toilet out in public. But what about this? COVID-19 disinfection cabinet? Man, maybe we are too obsessed with this kind of box that we immediately think of how to combat COVID-19 is by having this COVID-19 disinfection cabinet. I put this in red because it creates more harm than good. Yeah, this COVID-19 disinfection cabinet create more harms than good. I still remember that I received a personal WhatsApp message, from one of the highest authorities in KKM, Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, who WhatsApped me personally about 1.5 years or 2 years ago. When someone tried to promote the use of COVID-19 disinfection cabinet, and that person said to me, please, advise them not to proceed. Please stop. because you create more harm than good through this COVID-19 disinfection cabinet. Yeah. Now, if you look at my slide, what is the difference between all the all the black ones with the red one? You know, a photo booth, you don't need a biomedical engineer to make a photo booth. Sterilization chambers, maybe, maybe not. Vending machine, definitely not. X-ray screening box, no. Personal public toilet, yeah, maybe slightly. But the difference is that COVID-19 disinfection cabinet is related directly to human health. Yeah. So safety is of the major concern here. Biomedical engineering, and thank goodness that the one who proposed this COVID-19 disinfection cabinet did not come from any of the lecturers from my faculty of biomedical engineering and health sciences. Yeah, otherwise, you know, ooh man. Okay, what about this one? Yes, COVID-19 and engineering, and the device that was in short supply is, surprise, surprise, what is it? It's a ventilator. Yes, it's a ventilator. And back then, you know, because there is a huge demand of ventilators, so engineers were asked to whether we can actually create a very simplified version of the ventilator. So can you produce fast ventilator, simplified version of a ventilator? Yeah. And then this is the kind of ventilator that we produce. Yeah. Using rapid prototyping technique. So the team, we have several team members. Yeah. Develop this. Yeah. Ventilators, and unfortunately, the device is still in short supply. The device is still in short supply. Oh my goodness, that's my hand. I should have cut that one out. Anyway, the ventilator is still in short supply, and once COVID-19 becomes an endemic, then the sad thing is that we want to discard all the things, all the projects that we have already started, which is, man, that is not good. Yeah, that is not good. So due to this, we initiated the biomedical engineering roadmap. This is very, very new. If you can see on the slide, the slide inside my slide, which says biomedical engineering roadmap, first workshop, Universiti Malaya. We conducted this workshop in 23 month 2022. It is actually 23rd of June. 23rd of May. May or June? I think it's May. Yeah. So it's very new. And Alhamdulillah, Meditek, our own Center of Excellence, is the secretariat. Our own Meditek Center is the secretariat for the biomedical engineering roadmap. Why do we have this roadmap? And we have all these 4 ministries involved. Ministry of Health, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, Ministry of International Trade and Industry, and Ministry of Higher Education. All these 4 ministries, and you can see the logos of all these different universities. And it was initiated by us, UTM, and Meditek is currently the secretariat for the biomedical engineering roadmap team. Why? Is because we believe that the field is very important, and it becomes even more important these days, you know, due to the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's why we set up this biomedical engineering roadmap team, and we will see again this team next month, inshallah. I will take another few slides to end up my presentation. The first one is Meditek. What is Meditek? Meditek is Medical Devices and Technology Center. It is a center of excellence from bottom up. There are 2 types of center of excellence. One is top down. Top down means that it is initiated by the vice chancellor. Yeah, so they have an idea to set up a new center, so they set up a center from top down. But Meditek is a center grown from bottom up. Yeah? So it used to be a medical device technology group, medical device technology group, and now it becomes a center of excellence with the director is associate professor engineer Dr. Ardian Shah, the one who sit right on my right. That is Dr. Ardi. And we have a few other lecturers there, Dr. Tan, Dr. Wong, Dr. Nazri. Where is Dr. Nazri now? Dr. Hanif, and that one is Dr. Nida. Just some of the other members in Meditek that we found the center as a group in 2006. And what does it cover? It covers everything, you know, because when we talk about medical device and its technologies, you need design, you need the knowledge, expertise in materials, in mechanics, you know, manufacturing, you know, how to manufacture, how to make it work, you know, you need bits and pieces of electronics, and of course, you need medical doctors, scientists, and of course, at the end of the day, you need to sell them. So you need marketing and business. And this is going to be my last slide. My last slide would be this slide, which is BioInspira, which is a research group. So to those of you who are not familiar with UTM, UTM has a center of excellence and research groups. So all lecturers need to associate themselves with a center of excellence or a research group or both. So it happens that I'm a member of both the COE and the research group. So the COE that I'm attached to is Meditek, so Dr. Ardi is currently my boss, is the director of Meditek, and I have another boss, which is Dr. Saiful Izwan, who is currently the head of BioInspira. And BioInspira is a relatively new group, a research group, because when Meditek that I mentioned, the research group Meditek, upgraded to a center of excellence, so it leaves behind a vacuum of research group. So we upgrade. So we have another group called BioInspira, which is very interesting because it is now a bio-inspired device. And a bio-inspired device, we are talking about getting inspiration from all things around you, biological things around you, as a medical device. Wow, you know, that is really great. And of course, we have a lot of lecturers in this research group. There are 16 of them. I've tried to put all their names and pictures in my slide, but I didn't have the time to do so. But you are more than welcome to go to BioInspira's website for further information. So again, I said that this is my last slide. So before I end my talk, I would like to say thank you very much to the organizing committee for inviting me and giving me the opportunity, 20 minutes opportunity to give a short talk related to the field that I'm very passionate about, the field of biomedical engineering. So with that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Dato Engineer Dr. Muhammad Rafiq bin Dato Abdul Kadir. Participants are welcome to ask any questions or doubts to Professor Rafiq.
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam. Who's speaking?
Raimi. Raimi.
Right.
Raimi. Raimi.
Oh, right.
Saya sebagai seorang yang mula nak terlibat dalam biomedical ni, research ni, saya daripada RF Microwave. Saya ada terfikir macam kita ada yang kita generate heat daripada RF Microwave tu untuk healing lah kepada small location lah. Saya ada nak fikir macam tu. Tetapi macam mana rasanya pada pendapat Prof sebab kita macam supaya dia tak ganggu, kita nak specifically target small and area, tapi macam mana rasanya kita supaya tak disturb the healthy area lah. So biasanya dia akan bila dia masuk tu, dia akan kena yang healthy jugalah masa kita nak nak to induce healing lah, heat tu. Tapi apa pandangan Prof macam teknikal sikit lah. Sebab
Bukan teknik.
dia macam kita macam nak cuba induce healing dekat kawasan yang small area saja, tapi sebab heat ni dia akan bergerak kepada kawasan yang lain jugalah. So apa pendapat Prof? Teknikal sikit soalan Prof.
Raimi, soalan ni bukan teknikal sikit, ni teknikal banyak ni kan. actually memang ada apa tu, kita nak target certain area kan. Kita nak target certain area, kita nak induce heat. Benda tu memang ada. Saya pernah jumpa seorang profesor dekat USM, Jabatan Radiologi. Dia nak guna ada certain radiology punya equipment to generate heat. Dan dia akan target lah, certain target tu dia akan induce heat. Boleh Raimi, kita boleh bincang lagi, because I don't have at the top of my head the answer to your question, but I still remember the discussion that we had with one professor in USM related to exactly the thing that you mentioned just now.
Okay, insyaAllah boleh mana tahu di Singapore ni. Thank you Prof.
Thank you. Tak ada soalan? Kalau tak ada soalan, saya tanya nanti kan. Okay, kalau tak ada, terima kasih lah. Apa tu? Terima kasih Raimi. Terima kasih. Tadi call siapa? Siti Aisyah terima kasih Siti Aisyah. Terima kasih organizing committee kan jemput saya. Dan saya dipahamkan ini yang join ni pun student kita kan. Dan ada juga invite orang daripada luar. So alhamdulillah lah, tahniah lah, program dapat berjalan dengan jayanya. It makes me proud, certainly.
Terima kasih Prof.
Terima kasih.
Thank you again, Professor Dato Engineer Dr. Muhammad Rafiq bin Dato Abdul Kadir. I have definitely learned a lot about field of biomedical engineering by listening your talk. Now, I will pass the platform to Arshad.
It is my pleasure to introduce our third speaker, Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Muhammad 𝐈𝐔𝐏𝐂 Abdullah. Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Muhammad 𝐈𝐔𝐏𝐂 Abdullah is an Associate Professor at the School of Electrical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, UTM. He is currently the Director at the Center of Electrical Energy System, CEES, Institute of Future Energy, IFE, UTM. He is a chartered engineer registered with the Engineering Council, United Kingdom, a professional engineer registered with the Board of Engineers Malaysia, BEM, and a certified engineer manager registered with the Asian Energy Management Scheme, AEMAS. He is also a senior member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, USA SMIEEE, and a corporate member of the Institution of Engineers Malaysia, MIEM. He received the bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from Universiti Tenaga Nasional, Uniten, Malaysia in 2002, master's degree in Electrical Power Engineering, and doctorate degree PhD from University of 𝐈𝐔𝐏𝐂, United Kingdom in 2003 and 2008, respectively. He has authored and co-authored more than 100 papers in various technical journals and conferences proceedings. To date, a total of 5 PhD and 5 Master by Research students had graduated under his supervision. His research interests include power system analysis, system security, deregulated electricity market, demand-side management. He actively involved in various professional organizations such as IEEE Malaysia and Power and Energy Society PES Malaysia. He was the chair from 2017 to 2018, Vice Chair from 2015 to 2016, Secretary from 2012 to 2013, Executive Committee from 2011 to 2014 for IEEPES Malaysia chapter. Currently, he is the chair for the Institute of Electrical and I would like to apologize for the technical error for just now. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Muhammad Fauzi Abdullah to deliver your short seminar entitled Future Electrical Energy Systems, Opportunities and Challenges. The platform is yours.
Testing. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Sorry. Okay. Somehow I've been disconnected just now. Okay. Right. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Arshad. Okay, for the nice introduction. Program Director Dr. Raimi Dewan, the Program Director for IUPC, all the distinguished invited speakers, Prof. Tirumalai Manadan and Prof. Datuk Muhammad Rafiq. Okay. All the organizing committee and all ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. First of all, I would like to express my appreciation to the organizing committee for inviting me. Okay, I'm not sure about the topic for my presentation today, but I hope that you get some knowledge on this. Okay, so the topic that I've chosen is about it's quite general. It's future electrical energy systems, opportunities and challenges. Okay, right. So quick highlight. Okay. Before I proceed with future electrical energy systems, of course, I need to explain about what is the current electrical energy systems. Okay, so I'm sure everyone is the user of electricity, right? Of course, you use it for charging your phone or use whatever. Okay, but do you know that where is the electricity comes from? Okay, so this is where I will highlight the current electrical energy systems. Then I will bring everyone to the next part, which is future electrical energy systems. What to expect? Okay, what actually the future? What is the current trend? Okay, because I'm with this background, so I can explain to you what you going to expect will happen in the future in electrical energy systems. Then there are opportunities and of course challenges. Okay, right. Let's proceed with the electrical power system. So if you look at here, so this is the electrical power systems. Okay, right. So if you look at in more detail, okay, so our system, electrical system, we start with generation. Okay, so we have this generation. Okay, we have power plant that generate electricity. Okay, and then we have this transmission system. Okay, for those in UTM, you can see a big transmission line. You can see the two towers here. That is actually transmission line. Okay, that transport the electricity generated by the power plant to the consumers. Okay, that is the transmission system. And then you see, all the small towers. Okay, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you see lots of these towers. But nowadays, all these are buried underground. So you rarely see this because it doesn't look pretty. Okay, that is distribution system. And then you have these customers. Okay, you have industries, commercial building, and residential. These are the user or the customers of electricity. Right. So just to share with you, I explained about just now about generation. Okay, the electricity is generated by power plant. So this is, if you look at the diagram here, this is the generation mix for Peninsular Malaysia. In Malaysia, just specifically in Peninsular Malaysia, you want to know, okay, because power plant, the electricity is generated by different technology. Okay, so in the world, we have nuclear power plant, coal power plant, gas power plant. So in Malaysia, if you look at here, this is the real data, a very current data. If you look at here, okay, in Peninsular Malaysia, our generation is mainly dominated by coal power plant. Coal power plant. Then you have gas, okay, and then we have some hydro, and we have a very small portion. We have solar power. So basically, if you ask me, okay, in Malaysia, the power, the electricity generated, the electricity that you use actually are generated by coal power plant and gas. Okay, so that's why it's very difficult to get a cheap electricity because we generate our electricity using coal. And a matter of fact, we don't have coal in Malaysia. We buy it from other countries. We buy it from Indonesia. We buy it from China. So we depend on other countries. So that's why it's not that cheap. So that's why if you read the news, people talk about the city tariff will increase for the next few months because of this. Because our main generation is from coal and gas. So the price is not cheap. Okay, right. So let's talk about the current grid. Okay, if you look at here, the diagram, we have this power plant, whether it's coal power plant, gas power plant, hydro power plant. Then we have transmission system, and we have distribution system, and then we have customers. This is the current grid. Okay, this is the current structure, how you get your electricity. Okay, so what happened in the future? Okay, in the future, smart grid. Okay, we talk about smart grid. Our electrical system becomes smart. What actually the component of the system? First, we will have large RE. RE is a renewable energy. We will have large RE integration. Okay, so we look at my diagram here. We have PV. Okay, and we have wind. Okay, of course, here in Malaysia we don't have wind. Okay, because our wind is so slow, so spoilable. And so we cannot actually rotate the blades. But currently, we have lots of PV. So one of the component that you will expect is later we have lots of PV installation. Okay, that's the first component in future. Then next one is a smart meter. Okay, smart meter will be very important. So it's not that like, I don't know, maybe majority you are students, you don't pay your electricity bill. But I'm sure your parents, okay, you pay electricity bill, you have a meter. So TMB comes and see how much that you consume, okay, per month, and then you pay electricity bill. But in the future, it's no longer a conventional meter, it will become a smart meter. You can check your electricity bill, maybe just use your mobile phone. What is your consumption for this month? For this month, and also it doesn't stop there. You can even check your hourly consumption. This hour, how much my house is already consuming. Next hour, how much? So it becomes smart. Okay, the meter, it becomes smarter. Then you will have lots of sensors. Okay, so you have lots of sensors in the system. You can detect which switch is on, which actually equipments are on, which one is off. Okay, what is actually the voltage readings, the current readings in all components in the system. Okay, then there are two ways communication. Okay, so meaning that you can receive, okay, as a customer, you can receive signal from the utility. saying that, okay, what is actually the power coming to your house, and then you can also interact back to the utility. You have two-way communication. Okay, right. Then we have storage, energy storage. Okay, why energy storage is very important? Because we have renewable energy sources. Okay, right. For example, PV. We talk about PV. Yeah, PV is free because as long as there is sunlight, okay, so you can have energy from PV. But what happened at night? Okay, you cannot at the moment you cannot generate power from the moon. Okay, so we cannot do that at the current technology. So that's why we need storage. Okay, why? Because okay, in the morning when you have a sunlight, okay, PV will generate output. Okay, then some of the power we will store it by using energy storage. Okay, and then at night when we don't have sunlight, okay, there's no radiation from the sun, we can use the energy storage, okay, to get power. So that's why in the future you will expect energy storage will be a common thing. Then you talk about EV. Yeah, we talk about lots of EV, but currently in Malaysia it's not really penetrate into the market yet. But we can expect in the future, once people start talk about the high energy, high fuel price, okay, so then people will start go for the EV. EV will become a next big thing. Okay, maybe one day, okay, we don't use the conventional car that use in internal combustion. Okay, all cars are EV. That is actually something that to expect. So that's why if you look at the market now, all car company go for EV. Okay, and then we have real-time electricity price. Once we have all these sensors, okay, we have this smart meter, we can expect real-time electricity price. Okay, not like currently, we pay based on a fixed tariff. Okay, so how much you use per month, and then there's a tariff, you pay it. Okay, in future, do you know that actually the price of electricity varies all the time? Okay, it's actually because you don't know it because we are an end customer, but those in the utility, they know it. Okay, why? Because the demand of electricity varies all the time. So different generation will generate output. So that's why the cost of electricity is varies over the time. Okay, so it's very difficult. How the utility, how TME can inform you, okay, this is the price of electricity this time. There's no way to do it. But in the future, you can know that, okay, what is the price of electricity at this particular moment? Next hour, what is the price? So you know, okay, by knowing that, then you can strategize. So how can I reduce my electricity bill? Oh, this price is high, so I can switch off some of my appliances. Okay, this is actually the scenario lah. Okay. Then we have this smart home. Smart home, your home becomes smarter. So meaning that you have this automation. Why? Okay, you know, okay, you have automation. You see, oh, the price is high. Okay, do something. Okay, at your home, switch off certain things so that you can, you are not charged at a high price, for example. Okay, this is something in the future. But in fact, okay, the smart home application is already here. Okay, I don't know, maybe some of you are familiar with Smart Switch and then Google Home. The technology is already here. Okay, even at my home, I can switch, I can control my switch just using my mobile phone. Okay, there's apps, what Google Home. I just can instruct, hey Google, switch off my living room light. Yeah, I can do that. I have it, the application right now. Okay, so the technology is already there, but it's not actually widely used yet. Okay, but you can expect in the future, this technology becomes very common. Okay, right. So here, by having this, there's a lot of opportunities. Like I said, I already mentioned some of the opportunities. By having this technology, okay, there are many opportunities, especially for the customers, to save energy. Okay, and reduce your dependency on these conventional generators like coal and gas, okay, which that cause pollution. So there's a lot of opportunities. Okay, right. But of course, when you have this, when you have a very great system, okay, when you have this system that offer lots of opportunities. Of course, it will comes with lots of challenges. Okay, right. So this is issue. If you talk about people in energy, this is the issue. Energy trilemma. Okay. First, we talk about the security of supply. Okay, security of supply meaning that how to make sure that the supply of electricity is secured. Okay, for example, we cannot depend too much on coal like Malaysia. Why? Because we are not a coal-producing country. We don't have coal. For example, let's say that one day Indonesia and China, okay, decide they don't want to sell coal to Malaysia. What happened? If you look at my slide earlier, we depend so much on coal. So this is actually the issue, the security of supply. So that's why our country need to think about what are other sources that we have to consider to ensure the security of supply. The next trilemma is actually, the energy trilemma is the affordability. Not only we need to consider the new energy source, but the energy source must be affordable. Okay, affordable for the rakyat. Okay, for all the B40, the M40, the T20 must be affordable. And not only that, it must be sustainable. So this is the energy trilemma. This is the challenges. Okay, like I said, okay, we currently depend so much on coal, oil, and natural gas. This will not last forever, and you can see now some of these the price becomes very high. So that's actually something that a great challenge, especially for us. Okay, right. Then we talk about renewable energy. Okay, but of course, if you too depend on renewable energy, it creates new problem. Okay, so I introduce you. This is what we call in energy system. We call it a duck curve. Why we call it duck curve? Because it has the shape of duck. So that's why they call it duck curve. Okay, this is a very famous curve lah. Okay, what is actually? So if you look at here, okay, let's forget about the duck. Let's look at the diagram. Okay, so if you look at here, the gray colored line, this is the actual electricity demand. This is in 𝐈𝐔𝐏𝐂 in California. Okay, so then California starts to implement start to install lots of RE. In this case, PV. Okay, what happened is because PV, the energy output is high during the day. What happened is the demand becomes low and low. So look at 2020, the demand becomes like this. Not that the demand is low, not that the demand becomes low, but because you have lots of PV actually generate the electricity. So that's why it becomes low here. Okay, the problem here comes when at night. See, at 9 o'clock, PV no longer generate output. Okay, so you need a system, you need a generator other than PV that can ramp up. Okay, from 12 megawatt until what? 26 megawatt. That create lots of challenges. So that's why you create new technology, introduce new problem. Okay, this is something a challenge. This is where the researchers are trying to figure out how to solve this. Okay, then we talk about which one is the best case. We go for large scale solar, PV farm, lots of PV panels, but concentrated, or we should go for small size but distributed. Every houses or every commercial building got their own PV panels. So this is another challenges that you have to look at because each topology have their own problem. Okay, right. So again, okay, I think for the time given to me. So I already explained just briefly, okay, what are the future you can expect from electrical energy systems. Okay, lots of opportunities, but of course it creates lots of challenges. Okay, so that's where we, by having these challenges, that's create opportunities for student research. So that's why there's a lot of research going on to address these challenges, so that the future electrical energy system that we hope to become a reality one day can be a reality. Okay, right. I think, yeah. Okay, that's conclude my because it's only 20 minutes. Okay, I cannot explain too much, but I hope that you can get some idea on what to expect for future electrical energy systems. So over to you, MC. Thank you. open for any question in case anybody would like to ask.
Thank you, Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Muhammad Fauzi Abdullah. Participants are welcome to ask any questions or doubt to our invited speaker.
Ada kot ni semua biomedical. Okey, hai. Okey, assalamualaikum.
Okay, saya Aimi,
Okay.
Dr. Biomed.
Okey.
Okay, thank you very much for your talk.
Yeah.
Even though it's maybe it's like a basic knowledge, but for
Yeah.
me from biomedical engineering is very new.
Okey.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
And I just realized that Malaysia use coal as our main source. I just
Yes.
wonder if it's really like shocking for me because I always think Malaysia is using hydro, right? Because that's what the government always talking about. So and then you said that because of the coal price is increasing, that's why the tariff will increase.
Yeah.
So is there any plan, if you know, any plan from Malaysia to like change our source, power source from coal to like other source, and what's the plan of Malaysia, and in research also, what is the current research on this issue?
Okay, thank you, Miss Aimi. Right. Okay, thank you for the questions. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is difficult. Okay. Of course, unfortunately, your theory is untrue. Okay. Yeah, we do have hydro. If you look at my graph just now, our hydro, the contribution is small. It's maybe just 4%. Is very low. Okay. Okay. But of course, hydro also has a problem. Okay. Of course, it's clean. Why? Because you just need flowing water to generate electricity. But remember, in order to have hydropower, you have to build a dam, a big dam. You know that, okay, the one in Bakun, you have a big one, but that's not in Peninsula lah, but the one in Bakun, okay, of course we have a big dam, it's a 2.1 gigawatt big. But you know that how much area that needed to build Bakun? Okay, it is estimated to have the Bakun hydroelectric power station, the affected area is the size of Singapore. Because you need to build a big dam and you need to have the reservoir to trap all the water to the area. So you really affect all the flora and fauna in that area. It's just not, if you talk about in terms of environment, it's not also good. Of course, the production of electricity is clean because you just need flowing water and then to generate electricity, right? But it's not that in terms of environment, it's not that really. It's not really good. But the problem, and another problem is, okay, we don't have big river in Malaysia. Okay, unlike Scandinavian country like Norway, the power generation almost more than 90% from hydro because there are lots of big river. Not like in Malaysia. So we do have hydro, but it's not much. So that's why we do lack of options. Okay, so in theory, you know that in theory, the most cheapest power plant is first coal power plant because it's coal. You use arang batu. Imagine you pakai arang batu nak masak. It's really cheap, right? You use arang batu. It's cheap. Okay, but the problem, we don't have that coal. We don't have the arang batu. That's why it's not that cheap. The next cheap technology is nuclear. That's why lots of developed countries, they use nuclear because it's cheap. One atom of plutonium, you can generate lots of electricity. So that's why back then, 10 years ago in Malaysia, the government is considering to have nuclear power plant in Malaysia. But suddenly, in either 2012 or 2013, Fukushima disaster happened in Japan. Suddenly, the talk about nuclear power plant in Malaysia stopped everything. Okay, because of we talk about the incident in Fukushima, you have this nuclear power incidents, right, in Japan. Okay, imagine Japan, who advanced, a very strict person, have the problem. Imagine you have this nuclear power plant in Malaysia. So that's why we don't have we lack of option. So that's why the government try to increase from the power from renewable energy. That's it, I would say, and it still depends on coal power plant. Unfortunately lah, at the current point. Okay, I hope that they answer your question. Nanti kan banyak nak cerita kalau panjang tak cukup masa. Alright.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay, you're welcome.
Doctor, I have one question.
Okay, right, please.
Shai from SKT. So,
Okay.
yeah, regarding for the power supply, so we are more towards the solar panel kan. So
Yeah.
I was thinking, is it having a cheap material to build up that solar panel? Because now the solar panel quite expensive. If you want to install at house, it's like one panel maybe need a few thousand ringgit. So it's not afford to have that solar panel for each and every houses. So I was thinking, is there any materials that can substitute or can build out the most sustainable or maybe cheaper panel to capture all that matahari?
No. I think I have to disagree with that. And if you look at if you compare this price and 10 years ago, the price of PV panel has dropped significantly. I remember last time when Malaysia introduced FIT. I don't know if you know about that, feed-in tariff. Last time, if you install your PV panel in Malaysia, whatever generated by the PV panel, TMB will pay. Whether you use it or not, TMB will pay. 1 kilowatt hour around RM1.60. I can't remember that the last time, because the price of the price of solar panel, I think 1 kilowatt maybe 20,000 or 30,000. So I have friends that take a loan just to install PV panel because of FIT, every month he got income from TMB around 700, 800 ringgit. So they already do the cost benefit analysis. But that was 10 years ago. Okay. But currently the price of the city around 1 kilowatt to install PV panel is around 4,000 ringgit. It's not as expensive as before. So I think that is because there's a lot of PV panel produced by China at a cheap price, and we can see that the trend is going low and lower. So that's why if you want to go to cheap, I don't think that is difficult because currently the PV price is already cheap. Okay, it's not that expensive yet. But now the issue is the price of storage is very expensive, 3 times the size the price of the PV itself. So that's why I said I don't think that the PV price is still expensive, but not expensive as before. And I can see that foresee that the price of PV will become much lower over time. Okay, because economy of scale. Once lots of people are using it, and then the price will become very low. Okay, sorry, that's my answer to that. Okay,
Thank
all right.
Prof, may I ask question? Okay.
Ingatkan 20 minit je. Okay, right.
20 minit tu speaker session.
Oh, okay,
Soalan
right.
boleh lama sikit. Tak ada.
Alright.
Nak tanya nuclear energy is
Yeah.
one of energy, but do you see that Malaysia will implement this nuclear energy? Because if we implement, maybe it's one of the cheap option to have for electrical.
I think I don't know. Okay, if you ask my opinion, okay, because I've been involved in this area for many years. Yeah, if we talk about 10 years ago, yeah, all conferences, people talk about nuclear power. Yeah, 10 years ago, yes. Okay, the government is considering. But like I said, but the big turnaround is the Fukushima incident. I don't know whether you're aware or not. Okay, it's actually the nuclear. There's in Japan that caused a radiation problem in Japan, a nuclear power station.
I have heard about it.
Yeah. So because of that, everything stopped. Okay. Right. So that's why the cost of nuclear is cheap, but the safety issues related to it is not cheap. And like I said, okay, imagine, the Japanese people they are very strict, and also they're very strict to the rules. Okay, they also have faced that problem. Imagine that we have the nuclear power plant in Malaysia, in which Malaysian used to the safety and not the right. So are you willing to have nuclear power plant at the back of your home? Ask this question, right? So whether there's more on the safety issues lah. And it's not it's not easy to convince people, okay, with this the politics. I don't think that nuclear power will be an option for Malaysia at the current moment. Maybe in the future, I'm not sure, but at the current moment, I don't think so. Okay, because of it's not only the cost, it's also the public. Okay, how you want to convince the public? Okay, of course, and also the politics also. Okay, you see, want to build, then the politics starts to come in, the public start to come in, so it will be difficult. Okay, you can justify whatever this is the cost, but again, that's actually the big issue. But so I think that's why, if you ask my opinion, I don't think that we should go for the nuclear at the current moment. If we cannot as disciplined as the people in Japan, whatever, right? So because this is the safety concerns, okay. But I don't know, maybe in the future we can come up with something that is workable, or maybe that we can go for nuclear, right? But again, so that's why if you look at all the developed countries, they have nuclear power plant. This is the reason, because it's cheap. Okay, right? Okay, I hope answer your question.
Thank you, bro.
Okay. All right.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Ridwan daripada 𝐕𝐵𝐂. Maybe saya nak tanya pendapat juga berkaitan dengan electrical vehicle. Adakah praktikal digunakan di Malaysia sekarang? Dari segi kita tengok bila kita rujuk dari segi dia punya facilities, charging facilities and also the charging cost at the moment. So is that practical to be used in Malaysia? So what do you think?
Okay, there are many. I can comment many on that. Okay, yeah, EV is the next big thing again. But that is actually the people talk about. Many countries will talk about EV. Okay, right. I'm not sure about is it a problem or not. Okay, the problem is in Malaysia. If you look at the Malaysia's perspective, why EV cannot penetrate that much? Because our fuel cost is still cheap. Okay, because we compare to other countries lah. Okay, it's cheap, so it's not actually, people don't see the benefit of using EV because it's cheap. Okay, but in other countries, yeah, of course, the fuel cost is high. So that's why by using EV, you can see the benefit. Okay, first that's the thing. So that's why I don't think that EV can go that can penetrate into the market that much unless you really rich lah, you don't care, just to show off you're having a EV car, whatever, then no problem. But as a commoners, okay, like common people, I don't think that people will use it. Okay, EV. And another the problem is to use EV, it must comes with great facilities. Charger. Okay, you must have a quick charger. Okay, I think that this is another problem. Okay, even the quick charger it takes you 40 minutes. 40 minutes just to charge up to 80% of your battery capacity. It's too long. Yeah, if you just use fuel, right, 1 minute, at most 5 minutes, you can have full tank already. And then you can start your journey. Here, 40 minutes. I don't know. I don't have that patience. Can you imagine that lots of people beratur, okay, then 40 minutes, how long you do to take turn? So that is actually another issues. So if you talk about me, at the current moment, with the current facilities, and as I don't think that EV in Malaysia, I talk about Malaysia, EV can penetrate that much. Because our fuel cost is still cheap. It's still cheap in Malaysia. So that's why, but other countries, the price is expensive. Okay. I think but I think if you ask me, okay, if we want to go for the one that's workable for Malaysian, they should go for hybrid car. Hybrid car is cheap because you don't need a EV charger. So the car will charge once you start your engine. You will charge the battery, and then the battery will be used at low speed. That's really cheap. I can say that because I'm using a Prius for nearly 10 years already. My Prius, I think, right, I can full tank. Okay, I can go to KL and go back to JB I can still go 200 kilometers. So it's really cheap. I think it's cheaper than Avia. Okay, so that's why you can see. I don't know whether you know about the Toyota Prius. Okay, so it's really cheap. I think for Malaysia population market, the more better option is hybrid car. So compared to EV, for me lah, if you ask my opinion, I can confirm that it's really cheap. The price you can save on your fuel costs a lot. Okay, that's my comment on EV lah. Yeah, as long as that's why I don't think that the price of fuel will increase for the next few years. Then the government will be in trouble. So that's why. So still, I don't think that EV can penetrate much in Malaysian market. That's my opinion lah. Okay, right. Okay, unless you are very rich lah, just not to show off, you pakai EV, then no problem lah. Or maybe short distance ke, okay, just ni, then no problem lah. But it's not cheap lah. I think the cheapest is Nissan Leaf, also 160k Nissan Leaf, right? So I don't think that is the best option lah. Okay, that's my comment. I hope answer the question. Okay, all right. Okay, banyak masa lagi ke?
Thank you again, Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Muhammad Fauzi Abdullah. Your talk about future electrical energy system have definitely inspired me to learn more about electrical energy systems. Now, I'll pass the platform to Fatin.
Thank you.
Before we proceed with the winner announcement, we would like to announce the name of the judges for each track as a symbolic of appreciation for their effort, time, and comments. For the first track, which is Information System and Network, Dr. Chong Chi Kuen and Mr. Simon Loh Kang Ling. The second track, Computational Methods, Dr. Muhammad Ahmaduddin Atik Khamisan and Dr. Muhammad Hanif Ramli. For the next track, Bioscience, Dr. Nur Jihada Izzah Ismail and Dr. Nur Mahira Mamat. Fourth track that we have is Advanced Material. The judges are Dr. Ridwan and Dr. Ahmad Ilyas. The judges for Instrumentation and Device are Associate Professor Lam Chi Kiang and Dr. Azam Ahmad Bakir. Last track is Safety. The judges are Dr. Nancy Chu Si Eng and Associate Professor Technologist Dr. Tan Wei Hong. Now, without wasting any of time, I would like to announce the winners for today's competition. For our first track, which is Information System and Network, the third place is grabbed by Izzah Natasha binti Muhammad Roslan Ahmad and Technologist Dr. Muhammad Hanafi bin Maksum. For the second place is grabbed by Kun Bung Sheng, Associate Professor Dr. Abdullah Aziz bin Saad and Dr. Muhammad Khairi Ishaq. And the first place is grabbed by none other than Nur Anis Maisara binti Muhammad Nordin, Nur Amiza binti Arjuna, Loli Ki, Dr. Muhammad Faiz bin Muhammad Syakir, and Engineer Technologist Dr. Asnida binti Abdul Wahab.
Moving on, for track number 2, computational methods. The third runner-up. The third place goes to Sharifah Jamila binti Syed Ahmad Faris, Dr. Siti Aisyah binti Mualif, and Dr. Nurhana binti Yusuf. The second place goes to Chia Wik Rik and Dr. Azam Ahmad Bakir. And the first place goes to Nur Farah binti Abdul Rahman and Dr. Nur Ramalina Abdullah.
For the next track is bioscience. Starting for the third place, please give a big round of applause to Afif Nafal bin Aminul Rashid and Associate Professor Dr. Surati binti Sufyan. Now, time to call upon the second place winner. The second place winner is Norisa binti Suja and Dr. Nurfadilah binti Darmansa. Next, please give a big round of applause to the first place winner. Is Perwitiran Anak Lelaki Rajan, Lee Kayang, and Dr. Wee. Thank you.
Next, for our track number 4 is advanced material. Without any delay, I would like to announce the third place winner is Nandita Datta and Dr. Muhammad Tariq Arafat. The second place winner is Nurul Natasha binti Roslan and Professor Dr. Andana binti Muchal. And the first place winner is Pugambikai Wagen Taraman and Dr. Shafiqa Saidin.
Now, the time has come to announce our winners for instrumentation and devices. The third place is grabbed by Nandita Datta and Dr. Muhammad Tariq Arafat. Tan Lisin and Dr. Ahmad Shahrin bin Muhammad Idris. For the second place is grabbed by Muhammad Fitri bin Zaihuddin and Dr. Muhammad Saiful Zulkifli Zain. Last but not least, the first place winner is Huai Yun and Dr. Hao Yuan Wen.
And the last track is track number 6, safety. And the third place winner is Liu Yin Min and Dr. Muhammad Faisal bin Mat Tahir. And the second place is grabbed by Danish Diat bin Suhal and Dr. Mahal Diana binti Hamid. And last but not least, the moment that we are all waiting for. The first place winner is won by Arnal Kanan Anak Daud and Encik Muhammad Helmi bin Abdul Wahab.
Without wasting any of time, I would like to announce the special awards for today's competition. For the third place, from track 3, Bioscience, is grabbed by Muhammad Mutadi bin Amran and Associate Professor Dr. Nur Shariza binti Nordin. For the second place is won by Dr. Khairul Azhar bin Jubri, Nurul Izzati binti Muhammad Zaini, Zivana anak perempuan Parameswaran, Nur Afiq bin Abdullah, and Nur Azrin Shahira binti Ismail from track 2, Computational Methods. For the first place is won by Tan Puri and Dr. Iskandar bin Yahya from track Instrumentation and Devices. Now, to the moment that we are all waiting for, the best of the best is Teo Min Yen and Engineer Technologist Dr. Zaki Yamani bin Zakaria from track Computational Methods. Congrats to all winners. We hope to see you again next year in International Undergraduate Poster Competition.
We are approaching to the end of today's event. I would like to invite Dr. Raimi bin Dewan alias Abdul Rahman to deliver his closing speech. Please welcome Dr. Raimi bin Dewan alias Abdul Rahman. The platform is yours.
Okay, is it my voice is clear?
Yes.
Okay. Alhamdulillahirabbil Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi and very good day to everyone. Okay, Professor Dr. Ahmad Maridin bin Abdul Rahman, the Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Professor Dr. Kahar bin Osman, our program advisor, Dr. Ahmad Zahran bin Muhammad Kurazari, our program chairman, our distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Tirumalai Ramanathan from Institute of Technology, Computer, India, Professor Dato' IR Dr. Muhammad Rafiq bin Abdul Kadir, School of Biomedical Engineering and Health Science, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, Associate Professor IR Dr. Muhammad Fauzi bin Abdullah, Director of Center of Electrical Engineering Energy System, CES, Institute of Future Energy, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Our expert panel from various academic institutions and industries, locally and internationally, all across the globe, the dedicated organizing committee, second international undergraduate poster competition, IUPC 2022, our finalists and participating team, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to deliver the closing speech of the second international undergraduate poster 2002 today, organized by School of Biomedical Engineering and Health Science, Faculty of Engineering, UTM. On behalf of the organizing committee and Faculty of Engineering, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our dearest Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Professor Dr. Mahmudin, Program Advisor, Prof. Dr. Kahar, Program Chairman, Dr. Ahmad Zaran, for the continuous support. I also would like to express my sincere appreciation to all our expert speakers, Professor Dr. Tirumalai Ramanathan, Professor Dato' IR Dr. Muhammad Rafiq bin Dato' Abdul Kadir, and Associate Professor IR Dr. Muhammad Fauzi for accepting our invitation and participating in the second International Undergraduate Poster Competition 2022. So it is a great honor to have you with us today. Not to forget our expert judges that have been evaluating the participating team from the semi-final to the final round. So this event organized for the first time in 2021 actually. So was formerly known as the International Undergraduate Poster Competition with the initial team on biomedical engineering and health science related field only. Okay, this year 2022, we further expand the team to cover multidisciplinary engineering field, further harmonizing it in such a way that it is possible to non-engineering field to join. Okay, students from non-engineering fields able to join due to this harmonization. It is hoped that this event provide a platform for undergraduate students to further enhance their career potential, collaborate with research, or even pursue their studies. Okay. This year we have 6 teams and we had nearly 140 participants from local and international university, including Taiwan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. So we thank all the participants for their enthusiasm in taking part in this competition. So last but not least, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the working team of second international undergraduate poster competition 2022, particularly Prof. Kahar and as program advisor and Dr. Ahmad Zahran. Okay, may I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I will share my screen. Do you see this?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so thank you for the organizing committee for making this event possible. This is the faces of everyone working in the background. Thank you very much. And to all of the participants and panels, we look forward to see you again in the future. Thank you. The floor is yours. MC.
Thank you, Dr. Raimi bin Dewan alias Abdul Rahman, for your lovely closing speech.
Lastly, By taking this opportunity, I would like to express our warmest appreciation to all the participants, the speaker, as well as the committee members for making this event successful. On behalf of the organizing committees, I would like to apologize if we have made any mistake throughout this event. Before we part our way, I would like to ask all the participants to open your cameras for the photo session.
No.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, again. 1, 2, 3, smile. Freestyle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, all right, it's done. Thank you for your cooperation. That is all from us. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you. See you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.